Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name's Evan, and today we're going to be bringing you some more Silverado content. We are standing on the future side of my shop. It's all leveled off. We're just waiting for the guys to come in and set it up. Today we are going to be talking about my 2016 Chevy Silverado 1500 and all the modifications that I have done to it since we've taken ownership. So we're going to start at the back. Look at that delicious Line-X lining. The guy that had this before me, he used this truck a lot, and if you look on the back here, you can see all the little scuff marks from when he used it through all kinds of things in the back. It's a truck. He used it. I applaud him for that. But the paint was all scratched up back here, and it just didn't look good. So for a birthday present, my lovely wife said, hey, why don't we go get it coated? And it turned out fantastic. Some local guys up in Springfield, Missouri did this for us, and in about an hour they had it done. Nice edges. They took off all the bolts, all the little caps, and it turned out wonderful. Couldn't be happier. Used this truck a whole lot so far since they've done this lining, and you know, there's a couple little scuffs. Most of that's just dirt that you see in there right now, but it is a fantastic product. Loved it. Great addition to the truck, and it just makes it look so much nicer. Second thing that we did, and this was mainly for towing our camper, we installed a set of Hellwig overload springs. Now, in one of my previous videos, I talked about the modifications that I did for towing specifically, and we did talk about this. These things, they add about 2,000 pounds of payload capacity, or so they say. Of course, you can't change your tow ratings or your payload ratings, but they really did improve the ride when we were hauling our camper. It was amazing the stability that these things have added. We towed it a couple times without it, and then a couple times with it, and I couldn't tell you how pleased I was at the stability and how much bounce they got rid of when we were towing. The third thing that we did is I got rid of the Goodyear Wrangler, they were Goodyear Wrangler tires. They were just about worn out, and I wanted something a little bit more heavy duty. So what we ended up with is an LT 275/65 R18. So it's an LT for light truck, a 10-ply sidewall that helps. You can air these things up to around 80 psi, and it is another thing that has helped improve the ride when we're towing. But I also went with a different brand. These are Cooper Discover AT3s. They are an all-terrain tire, a little bit more aggressive than the Goodyears that came on it. Not anything near what like the BF Goodrich KO2s are, but they're still a very good all-terrain tire. Sets well in the wheel well, fills it up a little bit better. Still not as big as I would like to have, but when we got these tires, the truck was not leveled yet, so this was about the biggest that the shop said we should go to avoid any kind of rubbing. So in the future, now that we've got it leveled, I would like to get something a little bit bigger. Now the next thing that I did, and this was mainly because I am exactly average, right about 5'8", 5'9", and my wife is 5'3", so we're on the shorter side of the human race. And again, this isn't a super tall truck. However, we had a hard time getting in and out. So I forget the brand name. These were kind of an off-market, not real common brand for $300 or $400. They're about a 3.5 inch width right here. But these running side steps They really help with the look of the truck, I think, personally. A truck just doesn't look complete without that. That's my opinion. But they really do set it off. Looks nice. Super helpful for getting in and out of the truck, stepping up. I'm not going to show you the interior because it's filthy. But that was nice. Really, really useful. I know Chevrolet offers their own stuff, and we did look at that, and it was quite expensive. So we decided to hit the pass button and go for these little bit cheaper ones. I'm sure they probably won't last as long, but down the road we'll replace them with something maybe something a little bit more off-roady, like what the Trail Bosses come with. Then moving up to the front, I did allude to leveling this thing, and I bought a MotoFab 1-inch spacer. Now, due to math and geometry that is beyond me, that 1-inch spacer gave us a 1.5-inch lift on our ride height. So the truck basically now doesn't sit exactly level. There is just the slightest bit of rake, probably about a 1/2 inch or so, which I don't really mind. I've seen guys out there with the 2 and the 2.5 inches, and it almost puts the front end a little bit higher than the back. But I wanted to keep just a touch of rake, purely because I didn't want that front end high, rear end low when we're towing. When we have the trailer hooked up, the truck does sit just about level, so I was afraid if I went anything higher than the 1.5 inch on the leveling kit, we would have that funky look where our tail's dragging when we're pulling our camper. So this was a MotoFab. I took it to a local shop because I'm not super comfortable playing with suspension stuff, and then of course we did have to have an alignment to it. So a guy that taught my dad front end work, alignment work, suspension work, he hooked us up. All right. Last but not least, we move to the engine bay. You've heard me talk about this Jammer cold air intake, and then we have the Diablo Sport Intune 3 tuner. Still running the canned 87 tune. I am pleased with the increase in horsepower. However, I would eventually like to get a custom tune, unlock a little bit more, just for the simple fact that I like power. It's kind of like a drug. I'm addicted to it. It's some good stuff, and this intake really does make the truck sound good. I like the way it sounds. One of these days I'm hoping to get a couple of races lined up. My brother has a Yukon with the 6-liter. I think that would be a good matchup. Just trying to find some time where we can get together, find a spot, and throw down. All right, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this channel with your friends. Like I've said in the past, I really enjoy making content for everybody. I really enjoy talking about cars especially, and hopefully soon we'll have our shop done, and then I can start bringing you some content on Bad Bug, which is what this channel's really after. But until then, expect some more great Silverado content. Thanks for watching, and don't change that channel.